the end of July here in Wisconsin in growing zone 4, which means it's time to harvest the garlic. We grow a lot of garlic every year, enough for us to eat fresh the entire year, plus enough for us to plant in the fall for next year's crop as well. And how you harvest garlic, how you prep it, and how you store it will have a big influence over how well it stores and how long it stores, and I'm going to show you how we do it. And after popping the garlic out of the ground with a shovel, we can easily pull it out. One thing to avoid is ripping the garlic out of the ground and ripping the roots off. You want to keep the roots intact because they'll add more flavor to the garlic as it's curing. I've heard people say to treat garlic like an egg, be very gentle with it. Once the garlic is out of the ground, we knock some of the dirt off of it right away just so it doesn't get dry dirt caked all over it and it has an easier time drying. And you know there's a perfect time to harvest garlic. There's a Goldilocks point. If you harvest it too early, it won't live up to its full potential, and if you harvest it too late, it can tend to split. In both of those cases, it won't last as long in storage as it will if you harvest it at the exact perfect time, and that perfect time is when 2 to 4 of the bottom leaves have dried and browned. It's also best to not harvest your garlic right after it's rained a lot and it's really wet. After cleaning some of the dirt off, we sort the garlic. This is maybe a little bit extra, but I think it's really helpful. We're sorting them into piles, small, medium, and large heads. The large heads will be saved for planting, and it's helpful for us to get them sorted out right away so I don't accidentally use them. You always want to plant the biggest cloves from the biggest heads to get the best yield. Next, we're going to hang it up to dry. There are lots of ways to hang garlic and to dry garlic. This is just what we use because it's pretty easy and it works well for us. First, we bunch the garlic into groups of about 10 to 12. That seems to be a nice size. It's not too little, it's not too much, and they dry really well. We make a knot in some twine, slip it around the bundle, and then we're going to go hang them up. But before we can go do that, I have to label them. We grow a lot of different types of garlic, and I need to know who is who. If you're not growing a lot of different types, you probably wouldn't need to label them. I do also label the ones that I'm intending for seed so I don't accidentally cook with them. And while you can, of course, use garlic fresh after you harvest it, if you intend to store it, it needs to be dried and cured. And the best conditions for this are somewhere breezy with good airflow, so outside works really well, but it has to be protected. It can't be in the sun and it can't be in the rain, so we are using our covered porch, which really works perfectly for drying garlic. And hanging it really is best. Hanging it is better than setting it on something just because it has more airflow. What you hang it from is going to be dependent on what you have available to you. You might have to get creative. This setup that you see here is actually made for onions. It's how we hang onions to dry, but it just happens to work okay for garlic too, so we use it. And it's ready to prep and store when it is brown and dry and crispy. It really needs to be dry. That's an important part for storing it long term. This takes at least a couple weeks, 2 to 3 weeks usually. And I have both soft neck garlic here. You can see a bendable neck and a hard neck garlic here, and I treat them both the same. I start by using a heavy-duty scissors to cut the bulb from the rest of the stalk, leaving about a 1-inch piece. And then I take a scissors and cut off the roots. This is just to get a lot of the dirt off and make it nicer for storing. I also remove the outer wrapper, the one that has all the dirt on it. You want to leave as much wrapper as you can, really, because that's what's going to protect the garlic, but I also want it to be clean and look nice. And I can't emphasize enough how important it is for the garlic to be fully dry before you start cutting it. If there's any moisture left inside the stalk, it's a lot more likely to grow bacteria and to not last as long in storage. So how do you store garlic long term? Well, there's a lot of different ways you can do that, but the two important things are that they have darkness and they have airflow. If it's not dark, they'll sprout. If they don't have airflow, they'll mold. So we use regular paper lunch sacks, open top and kind of corralled in a cardboard box in a dark closet, and that's worked really well for us. They'll also store longer if you can keep them somewhere cool. Our closet stays around 60-65 degrees through the winter. If you found this video helpful, I would love it if you could give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to my channel so that you're the first to know whenever a new video is posted.